Hi, I'm Ella, and this is my presentation for the weeks 6 and 7 um, thing. And my topic was creating a false representation of yourself online. So, yeah. Um, so, my first slide was how can you create an identity that isn't really an honest representation of yourself? I said that you can create an identity that is a dishonest representation of yourself by creating false online profiles that isn't you. So like that can include like dating apps. I know a lot of people use dating apps, like they catfish people. Um, you can also like people. There's also like scam calls, um, which that happens a lot. Um, yeah. So my next one is what is catfishing? And according to the findlaw.com, I said that catfishing refers to a scam where someone who is the catfish creates a fictional online identity and seeks out online relationships. Um, the online relationships that catfishers seek are usually romantic relationships, which they find on online dating websites and cell phone dating apps. And I said that like it, like any kind of like app nowadays that like has a thing where you can like direct message a person or DM a person. Um, that could be anything. That could be like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and including any dating apps. Like I know there's Tinder. I think there's a one called like something like Bumblebee or something like that. Um, but yeah. And then I said people who catfish are usually very deceiving and often take someone else's photos or personal information. That could be like work and educational history. So like where they had or took their education. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but took their education. Sorry, and like where they work. Um, they invent a fictional life for their fictional identity that they make on these websites and on these apps. I said because online dating is growing in popularity, it has made catfishing more common. So, because I mean, that kind of speaks for itself, but because like we've involved, sorry, involved in our technology, like more people are creating these dating apps and these other social media platforms, and so because of that, like it has made catfishing more common and possible because of that. So why do people catfish? Some people catfish because they're seeking money and they build fake relationships with people to get it. Um, Others want to like prey on their victims, sympathies and emotions, often relating tragic family events or personal circumstances. Catfish has also, well, catfish have also known to seek revenge in a former significant other, prank a friend or acquaintance, or simply seek to amuse themselves at the expense of other people. Um, it says people who tend to catfish are people that have low self-esteem. They could also find their deceptiveness amusing. And also, I was reading, there's also saying they could just like be bored and like want to, I don't know, start up something or something like that. But yeah, they mostly do it because they like don't feel good about themselves. They have like low self-esteem. Like they want a relationship or a friendship without people judging them. So yeah. Um, so So my next one, so impact on both the sender and the receivers of the catfish. So impacts on the sender, who's the catfish. It says that people who catfish, they tend, when they do it, they feel less lonely. They then, because of that, they feel less insecure about themselves. Another person said that catfishing was a form of escapism, and it was a way to have relationships without people judging them for like the way they look and all that, and so they could be able to have the relationships with being more physically attractive. Um, some people do when they catfish, they do feel bad after when they find out that the person they catfished found out. But the effects on the impacts on the receiver is a lot more worse. They after the people find out that they've been catfished, they have a lot of damage to their mental health. They then can have mental illnesses from that, including anxiety and depression. They also feel they have a hard time trusting people after this happens to them, and they also feel embarrassed because they believed that this non-existent person was real, and they fell for them, or had a relationship or a friendship with them that was not real at all and non-existent. So that kind of makes their trust issues arise. They also could have a financial loss if people if the catfish steals money from them. Yeah. My next one, I said, is it bad or dangerous to create a misrepresentation of yourself online? I said, yeah, obviously. It's bad because it is illegal. It also can, as I said, drive the receiver to commit suicide. So that's a big thing. Catfishing is illegal when the intent is to steal from the victim. The fake photos. So also the fake photos that the catfish are using are infringing on any copyright laws. When the victim is a child and is being tricked by an adult into engaging in sexual conversations or sharing sexual photos, and if the catfish is using a real identity of another person and making them look bad in the public eye. So any of those could, it's illegal, so people can get arrested for it. Yeah, and then I also said the receivers of the catfish also tend to have really bad mental illnesses after having this happen to them. So that could put the victims more at risk for committing suicide, or mental illnesses, like I said. Yeah. So my next one. So my conclusion is that creating a dishonest representation of yourself online is not safe to do, and it's not ethical. I said it's not recommended, obviously, because it ends. It's not going to end good anyway. There's no good ending to it at all. It can have a very bad impact on the sender and the receiver, depending on the severity of it. So, yeah, that's my presentation.